Hi, my name is Josh Garrick, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about CS1371, specifically the ABCs of strings and the ABCs of cell arrays. Really, this is just going into the basic functions and different manipulations you can do with different kinds of strings that you may have and different kinds of cell arrays that you may encounter while coding in MATLAB. So first I have the actual directions page of what they would give you in MATLAB. So for both the ABCs of strings, we have write code to satisfy the following directions for each part. Store your answer in the variable specified within the parentheses. So our given input variables are string 1, which is a vector of characters, string 2, another vector of characters, vec1 is a vector of numbers, alpha1 is a character that is a letter other than uppercase or lowercase z, ch1 is a variable whose class is unknown, double 1 is an integer number, string 3 is a vector of characters that represents a number, and string 4 is a vector of characters that is words separated by commas. So looking at what it would actually look like if MATLAB gave it to you, we'd have something like this. This is what the homework looks like, the actual file that they send out. So just going through, number 1 is ASCII values. What are the ASCII values of string 1 in variable A? So we would set A equal to double of string 1. Double is a function that will return the actual ASCII values of the string, so it converts it to type double from type char. Number 2 is casting the strings. Cast vec1 to a character array. So vec1 is a vector of numbers. Char would turn that into a vector of characters. So it converts the type of the vector that we have. Once again, we store that in variable b. Number 3 is slicing and concatenation, making a new string, which is the concatenation of all of string 1, then a space, and then all of string 2. So again, you have to put it in brackets, and here you'd have string 1, comma, quotes to signify a space, with a space in between the quotes, comma, string 2, and close your vector. So without the space, it'd just be string 1 and string 2. You need a space to you have to actually put in the space to make sure that the space is there, and all that would be stored in value C. Number 4 is arithmetic operations. Alpha1 is some letter of the alphabet, but it is not the letter uppercase or lowercase z. We want to find the letter that comes after alpha1. So our answer should be the same case as alpha1. So we know that alpha1 was given as a type char, so it's a character. So we want to make sure that it stays that way, because if we add 1 to find out what comes after alpha1, it'll go to type double automatically because of MATLAB, so char will convert it right back to a character, and we store that into variable d. Number 5 is logical operations. And what we want to do is find is the first letter of string 1, is the first letter of string 1, which is an ASCII character, the same character as alpha1, which is also an ASCII character. The answer should be logical, true or false. So we want to use a logical operation, and we want to index the first value of string 1 and find out if it's equal to alpha1. Set that equal to E, and it should return the value, whether it's true or false. We don't know because we don't know it's stored in string 1 or alpha1. So the next one is char. It's another function. So we want to find out, is ch1 a string of character, a character array? And the answer should be logical, true or false. So the isChar function actually tests for this case. It tests to see if it is a character string. It's just another input function of MATLAB, and we set that equal to f, and that's how it would work. Okay, so number 7, the sprintf function. We want to use sprintf to create a string. Double is equal to double one. So where double one is replaced with the numerical value of the input variable double one. So here's an example of how it should work. If double one equaled 5, then the string would read double one is equal to 5. We can assume that double one is an integer and should also represent it as such. So for variable g, sprintf, that function, it actually it's a way to create a string with pre-existing conditions. So what we have is sprintf parentheses our string double one is equal to, and we put this %d because that's how the syntax for the sprintf function goes. So it'll replace whatever you have after the comma, which is double one, which is our variable. It replaces a variable with whatever the given input is. So we're not sure what the input is because the ABCs test for every case that possible with different variables. So it would work for anything you put in double one. So whether the number was 5, 10, 15, 5,000, it doesn't matter. It should go into %d. And that's all saved in variable g. Okay, moving on to number 8. strcomp. Are string 1 and string 2 the same string with case mattering? The answer should be a logical true or false. So strcomp is another built-in MATLAB function. It's a string compare. It compares two strings to find out if they are the same. So, and it'll come back as logical depending on how long your strings actually are. It'll say 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, depending on if it's true or false, 1's being true and 0's being false. So string compare, in this string compare function, case does matter, so we set that equal to h. And string comp I is another string compare function built into MATLAB. It is the next one, which would be stored into I. So this one ignores case, so it could be uppercase or lowercase a, but if you do string compare with those two, it would say true, those two are the same. While string compare previously would not say they're the same unless it was just lowercase and lowercase a or uppercase and uppercase a. Okay, so moving on to the next one, number 10, the class function. We want to find out the class of ch1 and set that equal to j. So class is just another built-in function which will return whether it's a double or a char or a logical. So you just class parentheses ch1, set it equal to j, and it'll give you whatever class ch1 is. So number 11 is num2string. It's convert doubles to a string representing the number. Num2string is just another built-in MATLAB function which will do exactly what you're trying to do. It converts a vector of numbers or that's type double to a string representing those numbers. So it's like the ASCII values being turned into actual letters. So it's just num2string of double one would be equal to k. String to num is the opposite of num2string. That's what we're using for letter K, or I mean letter L. So string 3 is a string that represents a number. So we want to convert that string 3 to a number, so we simply say string to num of string 3 and it'll convert it to type double. strtoc is another built-in MATLAB function. So here we want to string 4 is a string with words separated by commas, like so, word 1, word 2, word 3. We want to use strtoc to find the first word in the string and store it in M, and then store the rest of the string in N. So strtoc, it will return everything before the delimiter. So delimiter is the second input value of strtoc, and the first input value is what your string that you're actually using. So